Shall we begin? Shall we begin? So, a lot of y'all been coming to me in my DM and wanting me to touch on Mark Zuckerberg and his $100 million doomsday bunker. Now, everybody's hyped up after watching. If you ain't watched the movie, Leave the World Behind, produced by Barack and Michelle Obama, I believe. The movie got everybody going crazy because it's pretty much predicting the signs of the times that we're living in right now. We are living in the signs of the times. If you haven't been paying attention, we are living in the signs of the times. And, you know, it's many, I can't even say jewels that was dropped in it. It's just reality. It's a reality check. We all see what's going on in this world. We all see what's taking place. You know, how they say wars and rumors of wars. We're going through that. We're seeing storms at alarming records, like the storm that just hit my yard. The storm that just hit my yard rocked my yard. It rocked my yard. And see, fortunately, I'm on the top of the hill. People down at the bottom of the hill, I don't know what their basements look like and their living rooms looking like with that kind of rain that came down. But I'm going to give you a little taste of my yard just to see exactly what my yard looked like, what the storm did. This is the time of the year when I get so depressed, when my flowers just ain't flowers anymore. It's like a little mini river coming out of the yard. Flowers is dead. The wind just rocked my yard. Rocked my yard. Look at my swing, y'all. Look at my swing. Look at my swing, y'all. If it ain't the wind, look what the squirrels did to the top of my canopy. Look. Look like a hurricane came through here. Look crazy. Let's go check out the pond. Let's go check out the pond. Look at it. My pond looked like chocolate yoo-hoo. You can't see not one fish in sight. Not one fish in sight. The storm rocked my yard. Now, who gonna come over here and help me clean this yard up? Huh? Who gonna come over here and help me clean this yard up? Man, look at the face of my statue, my plant. Oh, man. Rocked them. That. Pick that pillow up. Got it. Yeah, y'all. So it's crazy, right? The movie Leave the World Behind. One of the scenes that caught my attention, right, that I try to tell people when we be having conversations, is that At the end, when you see the little girl in the video, right? She goes into the empty home. Yo, she at the table pigging out. She got the potato chips. She drinking the waters, the sodas. She opened up everything on the table. Then she goes downstairs, right? Now, as she gets downstairs, she know that the Wi-Fi ain't working, but whoever that house was had a collection of DVDs and cassette tapes, right? So she also goes through the pantry and shows all the doomsday food being stacked up in the pantry. They had supplies for days, even had a vault. But the deepest part about it, right? Ask yourself a question. Where was the people that occupied that house, that space? That's the deepest part. They stored up and stored up and stored up for years to prepare for doomsday, and they didn't make it to their bat cave of safety, their sanctuary. So all this time that they was preparing for doomsday, they ended up in the afterlife, and everything they stored up was for somebody else. That's something to think about. And see, a lot of the times, I sat back throughout the years, right? And I've been paying attention to these storms and these superstorms. And it's like, let's say where those tornadoes be hitting, right? There's places that get hit a lot with tornadoes, and some places never got hit. But nevertheless, these storms have been like ravaging communities, and people will save up, and you'll prepare for doomsday, and a tornado will come and knock your house and everything that you stored up 50 miles down. So now you got to start all over again. So the moral of the story is, whatever skills that you have, the hunter-gathering skills to go out there and survive, if you don't know how to start a fire, you are in trouble. If you don't know how to filter your water, you are in trouble. If you don't know how to boil your water or find you a source of clean water, because most of this earth, water is salt. So you have to know where to go find you some rivers with fresh water where you can drink from, or you are in trouble. If your mindset, after seeing all the things that's going on right now, ain't preparing you for the worst, then you are in trouble. It's just plain and simple. At this point in time, if you're not mentally preparing and physically getting prepared to work your body out, to be able to swim, to make sure a worst case scenario, let's say, for example, you in an earthquake situation and you find yourself hanging off a cliff. If you can't pull yourself up, you're in trouble. If you cannot pull your body weight, you are in trouble. Me, I'm not a good swimmer. So now I have to figure out in a little bit of time how to get ready when I should have been already ready. Because if my children are drowning, if we are in a flooded area and there's floods, how do you save your wife? If you can't swim and you see your daughter drowning, how do you save her? All the muscles in the world ain't gonna help you to swim if you don't know how to maneuver through that water. We living in a time and a point in the day now where you better learn how to maneuver through life, man. Stop being so distracted by the celebrity gossip. And speaking of celebrity gossip, I got some topics that I want to touch on tonight. I'm probably gonna go live at 7:30 tonight, so I could address Mano, for example. He made a song with BG. The numbers is terrible. It's at like 43,000 after 2 or 3 days. I waited. I wanted to see, without me promoting that song and me responding to him, just what the numbers was going to be like. Now it's time for me to respond to him. And I got a lot to say. It is what it is, though. But back to what we're talking about. We are being told in so many different ways that darkness is coming, that the power is going to go out. Do you have a backup generator? Even though, how long is that going to last for? Do you have solar panels so that you could feed off of the energy off of the sun? Do you have backup medical supplies? Mentally get yourself prepared. Even if you have to start watching shows like Naked and Afraid, where they show you how these people go out there in the wilderness and they naked and they have to survive for 10 and 20 and 30 days out there until they can't take it no more. And they're naked. If you were put to the test, you don't want to have to figure out the hard way, especially if you're a man. We ain't talking about all of you tough dudes that's standing on the block and you diddy bopping. Now, we not talking about y'all. We talking about the mans that know, regardless of what, you got to go out there and make something happen to feed your family. Because as we seen in the movie Leave the World Behind, the cities was destroyed. When World War III happened and they start striking and those missiles start flying, the cities is going to be destroyed. When we sat back, the video I did not too long ago in the Bronx over on Burnside, I don't know if y'all seen that video where the building, part of the building, the corner of the building just collapsed. I don't think y'all realize how many more buildings is in that same condition that just didn't collapse yet. And all it takes is a little shaking of the earth, a little minor earthquake. That building just exposed how shitty those buildings in the city is. And the sad part about it is that they actually talking about rebuilding that portion of the building and leaving the other portion, like, instead of demolishing that building, they're actually talking about just patching that side up. What are you, crazy? My advice to anybody that lived in that building, I'd rather be homeless than to play with that building ever again. That building shows you where its foundation is at. Now you're going to let them come in there and do a patch-up job? Do y'all realize that most of those buildings in the inner city is in the same condition, just waiting to fall to pieces? A lot of those tenement buildings with them slum landlords. And then you sit up there thinking that you got, you know, that your subsidized rent, that you in buildings where that you damn near paying $200 or $300 for rent, $700 for rent in the city. Do you understand that that's not enough to really fix those buildings? Do you really understand that? So you're playing with your own life. You're playing with fire by even living in them. My advice to you, get out of the city. Because when everything goes wrong in them cities, it's only going to get worse. It's too many people living on top of each other that got to figure out how to feed their families. 3 days after an earthquake or 3 days after a major event happens and there's no trucks coming in and out of the city, within 3 days, those supermarkets is going to be closed. Where you going to find yourself at in that situation? Inquiring minds want to know. That's just what you got to ask yourself. It is what it is, man. Mark Zuckerberg and the rest of the rich, they've been planning for doomsday. They've been building underground cities. This is not the first time that the earth has been destroyed. They have old knowledge, ancient knowledge. They have people that travel the world and discover old civilizations that they don't teach us about. And they know how these civilizations failed. And they also know that we living in the signs of the time. So instead of them sitting up there telling you that, hey, the world is getting ready to end for many of us, not for all, but for many of us. We're living in the signs of the times. They're not going to tell you that, because once people realize that the world is falling apart, then it's going to be chaos because people are not going to go to work. They're not going to comply. You're not going to go to work. You're not going to comply. So what they're going to do is they're going to send indirects out there. And then people like me are going to sit up there and we're going to tell you, hey, like Noah did. When Noah built the ark, he told you a storm was coming. And the people didn't listen to him. So he kept on building that ark. But what people don't tell you is, who told you in the days of Noah, in the times of Noah, that Noah didn't have the technology that we had today? This technology is not new. They knew last week that the storm was coming. The week before last, they knew that the storm is coming. When we watch the news, they sit up there and they tell us a week in advance, there's a hurricane coming. It's going to be a category 1 or category 5, and it's going to do this type of damage. They tell you ahead of time to evacuate. So when you read the Bible or you listen to the stories of Noah and Noah's Ark and how he built the ark, you don't believe it because you couldn't understand during that time Noah actually had the same technology that we had. This technology is not new. This is the stuff that they left out of the Bible, that he knew that this was coming. The same way I'm sitting up here telling you that there's a storm coming. Not only is there a storm coming, there's famine coming, there's plague coming. We're on the brink of Armageddon. World War III is coming. Are you preparing? Are you not entertained with all the celebrity gossip? Are you not entertained by Blueface arguing with Wobby, whoa, Superman, Soldier Boy? We that broken as a people? It ain't meant for everybody to get the message. It ain't meant for everybody to be saved. Everybody's not going to go on to the next chapter in life. But sometimes you're right. This might be your last chapter. And if this is your last chapter of life, or you getting your life right with God, see, because in this world, they got you watching, lusting, and living in sin. The most beautiful things in this world is surrounded by the hellfire. The most beautiful things in this world is surrounded by the hellfire. Protect your soul. Because when you get to the afterlife and you in darkness, the light that illuminates, that guides you through the afterlife comes from within yourself. But if you constantly living in sin, there's no light for you in the darkness. If any of these words touch your heart, know that they come from God. Everybody's not going to hear the calling. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. And pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. Because they smile in your face. All the while they want to take your place. The backstabbers. Look at my beautiful yard. I can't even call it beautiful no more. Make sure y'all share this video. We out.